Hello, Houston. Welcome back to Texas Tea. I'm Roger D, bringing to you entrepreneurs, hustlers, and prodigies from this great state of Texas to talk about their success stories and what made them successful. Today's guest filled a need that he found kind of just offhandedly from his in-laws and realized that he could bring plump, fresh Gulf shrimp to the southwest side
Yep. SWAT. A-Leaf, Texas.
of Houston. And, I'd have to say there's probably not a man in Houston that can peel shrimp faster than him.
Yep.
And he, after he realized that he was going to go up against HEB in that market, he pivoted, opened up a seafood restaurant, Mike's Seafood, opened the first one off Highway 6 south of the tollway.
Yep.
Got one up in 529 up in Cypress now.
Yep.
And I'm just really happy to have you on.
Well, I appreciate
Mike
you having me on, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Mike Trinh, everybody.
SWAT, A-Leaf, Texas.
Yeah.
How you doing?
A-Leaf. You're really proud of the A-Leaf.
Well, man, that community has been great to me. So,
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
I try to represent them as much as I can. Of
course, man.
18 years, they've been good to me. So, I do
Yeah.
what I can to give back and give my shout out to them.
And that's something that I think I see every individual who owns a business who is a truly good person. They're always they never forget where they came from.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't. Well, that's where I got my start from there. They gave me opportunity out there, communities out there on Highway 6. They took a chance on me, just buying stuff off a trailer.
Yeah.
Kind of weird, buying seafood, which is, it's kind of a little weird, but they gave me opportunity, and I ran off with it. During the last 18 years, I built relationship with these customers, more like families, man. I've watched kids grew up eating my food from little elementary, high school to college.
Yeah.
Go back, and now some have families, so it's just, I've been deep rooted with that community for a long time.
For a pretty long time.
Yeah.
And you had said before that you're coming from a scenario that the job you were working you really didn't like. Let's say there's someone listening in who's kind of in the same boat, no pun intended.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, I don't really like what I'm doing. I want to try to get into business on my own. But they have no idea what to look for because you found something that you kind of just you found it and you knew.
I have no background in seafood. I have no knowledge of seafood whatsoever.
When it started.
But my desire was like, you know what? I don't want to work for somebody. I don't like the way things going. I don't like to play politics. It's just not me.
Yeah.
I don't mind working hard.
Yeah.
Put 100% in my work, but I want to see this as I'm reaping the benefit. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
And so that's what I did. I did a lot of research before seafood. I was like a bunch of ideas, like this idea. Now I fell through. No, it doesn't work. No, there's no longevity. This is, And finally looked at seafood, and I just looked. There's a high profit margin. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I studied up on it. I did a lot of homework before I did anything with it. And of course my in-laws they're already doing it already. So I've learned.
Yeah.
And like I said, if you really this is what you want to do, jump in there, both feet in there. You can't dabble.
So it seems like you found something with that had a lot of opportunity, i.e.
Potential,
yeah. And then you went to a mentor, i.e. your parent-in-laws, mother-in-law.
Well, in-law. Well, I wouldn't say mentor. They didn't, walk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd ask questions. I'd watch. I've learned. I went out and I did what I can do, and there's a lot through trial and errors. So it wasn't like I sat there and they tutored me from the beginning because they had their own business, they had their own life. It's hard,
Yeah.
So, you have to be willing to go out there and do the actual work yourself. Nobody's going to show you everything, you know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I feel that. For the first time that you got your first haul, because you're going down Port Arthur, you said.
Yeah, I went down Port Arthur. Well, I did a lot of research. I knew that up here to do business, you have to, in a mobile unit, you have to have it, you have to have the tag and everything, inspected and everything.
Yeah.
I looked up, I did my research. I made sure specs, everything. I didn't have somebody build for me. I couldn't afford it, and that's the main thing. I didn't have the capital. I barely had any money. I was buying the box truck for my uncle-in-law, was paying notes.
Yeah.
And I converted everything inside there to a mobile unit. Then I went down there and bought some seafood. It was a big risk. It's like, man, I could make it. I could not make it. It's just a hunch. You don't know when you open something like that. It could make it, doesn't.
So you got a box truck from your uncle, you said. And then you converted all the inside
to a mobile unit, got me permitted. I found a place in Highway 6 during our time back then. It was just a gas station. who was a private owner,
Yeah.
and there wasn't any grocery store. HEB was barely open up.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
it wasn't
yeah.
that many, competition out there.
What does it take, by the way, to convert a box truck to something that can carry seafood?
I mean, it was more like a kitchen unit, but I
Okay.
had to use like my truck or somebody else
Oh,
to go out
got you,
there,
got you.
get coolers, put the shrimp in there, and come back to Houston.
Okay, okay.
Back then, I was operating in one of my townhouse out of garage. I had a deep freezer and a
Okay.
cooler that was putting seafood in.
Okay.
And but the truck, it pretty much stays there until it just stays there because it's a
Yeah.
big bulky thing. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
want to drive all the way out, put it out and pick it up and bring it. It's more like a kitchen or anything you want to stay.
Got you.
Yeah,
So
but
you're picking up the stuff. You're
in the
preparing
truck
it.
with cooler and bring it in to prepare and then bring it out there and
Gotcha.
sell it out there.
Got you.
And we open 6 days a week. I want to say the only day I was off was Tuesday, and even then it wasn't really days off. I got to go down there and pick up
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So it was like you said, nonstop.
Why Tuesday? Why Tuesday off?
Usually Tuesdays is just as slow.
Slow.
Man.
Got you.
A lot of restaurants that close on Tuesdays, Monday, Tuesdays.
Right.
Us is just Tuesdays.
Right. So you got all this shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
You peeled it as fast as humanly possible
As fast as I could as we're learning. Yeah.
because you're a G.
Yeah.
And how did you approach residents in that area or people in that area? Like what was your sales plan?
Well, at first I was like, man, we just gonna set out there. There's a lot of traffic, and I know around that there's a lot of residential neighborhoods around there.
Yeah.
I know there's gonna be need for that type of seafood.
Yeah.
And I'll get to this. Before it was just shrimp, but then I started second week with shrimp, add on fish. I started at pretty soon it's almost like a mobile seafood like fish market in that truck. I went with vendors where I buying crabs, live crawfish, and a vendor where they had fish. And of course, there's paperwork. Make sure fishing games don't come and do something.
Right.
Yeah. You have to get licensed by. I learned the hard way. You have to get licensed through Fish and Wildlife too when you're selling seafood.
Yeah. I did not know that.
It wasn't just health department. You have to go through health, fish and games, and I had paperwork and everything done. So it was like a mobile fish market, man.
Yeah.
Out there.
Okay. That's what's
so
up.
In the morning, sometimes I go pick up stuff. By around noon, afternoon, I'll open up. Most of the time, the business comes around noon anyway. Nobody comes in 10 or 11 in the morning to buy fish or whatever,
Yeah.
So, that's how I started with just fresh seafood. Bless you.
Sorry. So you literally had Mike's Seafood from the seafood.
Yeah, it was a fish market on wheels, man.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was like unique. Nobody was doing that at that time,
Yeah.
So we created something that's pretty much new, unique.
Yeah, I remember when I read that story on Facebook, I was trying to wrap my head around what you were talking about because my first thought was food truck.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's food truck, but the thing was I didn't start cooking until maybe my second year, I want to say.
Yeah.
That's when I started, I started looking further down the future, how long I was going to be able to do this. I'm doing well now, but 3 years from now, 5 years from now, what's going to happen with the competition with the market around me as they evolve and as HE was getting more powerful, and then you got more, supermarkets open up around me, pretty much surrounding me.
Yeah.
After a while, the profit margin is not going to be there anymore. I was making it because profit margin was high for Gulf Shrimp. I was buying cheap, come here and sell it for relative decent amount of price, But as you can see, some supermarkets like HEB and them, they have their own boats. They own their own boats. They own their own fleets. They can sell at cost, if not cheaper.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. They're gonna make their money anyway. As soon as you go in their restaurant or their store to buy so and so shrimp, you're gonna buy other items like beer, napkins, rice, whatever. So by the time you leave, they've made their money off other items besides the shrimp. So they can use the shrimp to attract you in there. Whereas that's my sole, revenue maker was the shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, there's no way I'm compete. I'm gonna start changing my game. I'm gonna start doing. How about cook seafood?
Yeah.
So now I convert that to a kitchen instead of just seafood market.
Right.
So we add on vent hood, fryers, everything, and I had to learn all these stuff. Like I learned how to change the fryers from a natural gas to propane. It has to be propane.
Yeah.
I ran the propane line outside. Had the family members were electricians.
Mm-hmm.
They hooked up the outlets and everything. And we went through a whole lot of different things. I had a trial and error.
Yeah.
I went to back then a lot of auctions were live auctions. Nowadays auctions are online. Back then you can go out to a restaurant where it's shut down. You can buy items, bid on it.
Yeah.
I bid on vent hood. I bid on equipments that are old. I was paying cheap, and
Yeah.
I was building as long as
So you're finding used.
Yeah. I knew back then I'm gonna open a restaurant.
Right, I got you.
Slowly.
So you were already planning ahead.
Yeah, ahead. Yeah. Like 3 years from now, 5 years now, this is what I want to do.
Yeah,
this is what I'm gonna do. This is what my business is heading toward to.
I got you. Where were you keeping all that stuff that you were buying?
You know what? After the first year, the first year I was operating out of a townhouse with a garage.
Yeah.
Tenants or neighbors complaining, man, it stinks, smells like seafood out here. It's like, man, we can't do this. So we went rented a warehouse, like $500 something like back then, around Harwin, cheap little place.
Yeah.
And that's where we stored all the stuff and prepare stuff. We in the morning go out there, get the stuff, drive my truck all the way out to the van or the mobile food truck,
right,
and have it out there. So that's where I was prepping and bringing it out there.
Got you.
That's where the storage was.
A lot less neighbors in
in they were complaining, and after a while, your business started growing. It's out of control. You can't just do it out of a garage anymore.
Yeah.
So
but this is a real story of scaling up responsibly.
Well, as your business grow, you have to adapt and plan how you grow it.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we did.
And obviously crawfish is a big thing too.
That's
Were you doing
yes, about second or third year when I converted to mobile kitchen instead of just fresh. One of the big things we did was crawfish. So like every weekend, we used to boil crawfish every weekend. We had our own recipe. I have my own recipe with how to boil crawfish. Everybody got their own little thing how to boil crawfish, what they put in there, a little butter, a little garlic, yada yada.
Yeah.
So I had my own thing. So you know what? I'm gonna do crawfish because crawfish is a big money maker.
Yeah,
Get it cheap, turn around, boil it and sell X amount of money.
Plus, you could throw that shrimp in there too. You already
we did all that stuff too later on. Adding more to the menu, and we did crawfish. Man, I think it was it hit. Yeah. Just took off. A lot of things I did through research, trying it hit. Almost everything hit. The fresh seafood, it hit.
Yeah.
The boiled crawfish, it hit. And then after boiled crawfish, we did the fried seafood.
Yeah.
Same thing. It started hitting, and then we just do a lot of good planning.
Yeah, it seems like one of your biggest strengths is you took your time to really research before you acted.
Yeah. And because you're out in trailer, you have a little room you can trial and error,
Yeah.
But majority of times I've done my research.
Yeah.
And I've did my testing.
Okay.
Before I actually do it, So
right.
It usually it hits.
So you're testing out all the recipes as well. Yeah.
Test this worked. This doesn't work. This wasn't. Before I put something on the menu, it's a lot of trial and error, a lot of testing. Testing before I do that.
Through all this, because you're obviously testing, having failures. When you first started getting off, I think we're talking about the first 3 years or so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were there any times where you really hit a snag and you're like, "Damn, this might be it," or like, was there anything that was so rough that you really had to pull up your bootstraps and really get through it?
Man, it's just hard, man. It's a daily grind. Waking up every day. Sometimes I'd be tired as hell. It's not a 9-to-5 job, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like I said, after I operate, I ran out of shrimp. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drive down Port Arthur, an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
Pick it up, come back another hour. That's like 3-4 hours trip.
That is.
Barely any sleep. It's rough. But you know what, man? What motivated me was like I had a vision what I want to do already, and everything I'm gonna do for myself. I'm not doing anybody else, any Joe Blow, any company out there that really don't appreciate the value. I'm doing for me and my family.
Yeah, it is. I sense that trend where you mentioned this multiple times now, where you're just tired of feeling like you're doing the work for someone else.
Yeah, man. I think my whole family is that we always had that entrepreneur, mindset. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. He had his own business. My dad has his own business. We all different business, but we all wanted our own business.
Yeah.
That's we driven.
Do you think the entrepreneurial spirit, as they call it, do you think that's you born with it, or do you think it's something that you figure out later in your life?
Yeah, man. Either that's. I think that's what I want. I've always had it in me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think I would have survived long in working in the office environment. I don't think I would have thrived. I would just, I'd be depressed every day.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of ideas and a lot of things I want to do and want to try out. And I think
just kind of in a box there.
Yeah, no, I can't. So I think it's been inside of me. Just like I said, I just found it happens to be in seafood.
Yeah,
which I had no background whatsoever.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I learn. I try to learn. I study up on things. I look at things.
So would you say then that you kind of just fell in love with the seafood because you started out not knowing what you're gonna do? Do you feel like you fell in love with seafood, or are you just so in love with the process?
I'm in love with the process. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, was I born? I aspire to be in the seafood business. No, I don't, man. I don't know anything about it. To be honest, like seafood business, because I think what it is, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
It could have been something different, and I
Uh-huh.
would have done the same thing. I would have do research. I would have done pretty fairly well.
Yeah.
But it just so happens seafood at that time was what I looked into. I found, you know what, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be successful if I do this
Yeah.
way, yada yada. And if I just took on and progression over time, I got, better
Yeah.
and better. And I've changed my business plan as I was going.
Mhm.
Even now I'm still changing my business plan
Yeah.
all the time. But it's
Yeah.
still revolve around seafood.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, my passion, I'll be honest, like jujitsu, sports, fighting. I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
If I can feed my family, I can do it. And that's people forget, like, do what you love. And, my response to feed my family, make sure my kids have a future,
Yeah.
have roof over their head. My wife gets what she needs.
Yeah.
That's my responsibility.
Well, I think you kind of transcend the task in front of you, and
Mhm.
you're doing all this because in your mind you're thinking about your kids and your family.
You got to do what you got to do, man, to take
Yeah.
care of your family
Yeah.
and do your best.
Yeah.
What I love to do, I mean, I love to train jujitsu,
Yeah.
compete, fight. Back then I used to fight MMA.
Okay.
That was my passion,
Yeah.
But that doesn't feed my kids, doesn't put food on the table.
Yeah.
But so for a while, I put it on the back burner a little while and train whenever I can. But my main priority was my business, seafood.
I could see definitely the pride in the MMA fighting based on your Facebook profile pic.
Man,
with
what?
the
I love it.
Vietnamese flag.
Hey, man, my father fought for Arvin, so I try to
Okay.
rep that as much as I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I take pride in what I do.
That's what's up, man. So when did you start BJJ?
Man, I like to say, man, when did I start? How about when I start MMA or whatever?
Yeah,
My
yeah.
journey was like maybe about 8 years,
Okay.
7, 8 years ago.
Okay.
I mean, I've always been, and I've always been interested in MMA,
Okay.
But like I said, my priority was the seafood business.
Right.
Sometimes I didn't have time to train. But when I started finding a little time, then I started training
Yeah.
at a gym called Metro Fight Club.
Yeah. Okay.
My head coach back then was Saul. I was just taking classes. I was watching UFC during that time, watching Hoist, 170-pound guys, subbing
Yeah.
guys 200-something pound. You figure the big swole guy's gonna
Yeah.
win. It doesn't. No,
It doesn't work that
no,
way.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Some skinny guy with a gi would look like a bathrobe, choking guys out. Like, dude, how is this humanly possible? That dude, the other guy, like swole. He looked like he looked tough, and no, it has nothing to do with it.
Well,
So that got me into it, and I found a gym, Solis Metro Fight Club.
Yeah.
I was just taking kickboxing classes and jujitsu. I was dabbling a little back and forth, and I love it, man. It's intense training. It's the best cardio ever. I've
Yeah.
always been in lifting weights, but
Yeah.
there's nothing compared to fight training. It's different, man. You know?
Yeah. And everything I know about BJJ, because now I've had Professor Dantino on
Mhm.
and David on, of course.
Mhm.
I'm sure that helps it seems to me, training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a perfect complement to being a business owner because it keeps your mind clear.
It keeps your mind clear, keeps you calm.
Yeah.
Man, like I said, it's like a lot of stuff you can apply to life almost, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Same theories you can apply to life,
I
man.
know.
Serious. Start with good foundation and build it from there. You don't
Yeah.
start with something fancy, yada yada.
Yeah.
You have the good foundation and then build it from there. And
Yeah.
you're gonna get better and better and better. And you can have to put your work in it. And there's a lot of times not so much as that the guys are gifted athlete.
Yeah.
These guys work his ass off, drill over the same thing
Mhm.
over and over and over. It gets better and that stays with it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be successful. Versus a guy that starts out and man, he's so athletic, he's so gifted,
Yeah.
he's lazy and he
Yeah.
doesn't want to drill.
Yeah.
Then after a while, the other guy starts progressing and surpasses them. Not so much a guy that's just more athletic, whatever. He just takes his time and drills and does his things till the thing becomes perfect.
Yeah.
Same thing with business, man.
Yeah.
You have to work on your basics, have a good foundation, solid structure,
Yeah.
and build off from there.
Yeah.
Not
And,
the fancy this, that, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't work long term, man.
well, if you think about it too, jumping off from that,
Mhm.
your hustle, the grind every day, starting from nothing,
Yeah.
is like the athlete that started from minimal skill,
Mhm.
whereas someone who started off with skill would be the equivalent of someone handed a business to them.
Oh, it gets like, what they jumped in something, they got so much hyped off it.
Yeah.
There's people with business, there's so much hype on that certain business sector
Yeah.
that they ride off of there. But they don't have a solid business plan, don't have a solid stuff, and then your hype dies down. Well, now what you gonna do?
Right. Well, look at how business in general in America is with there's so much money going around for the next big thing. We glorify, I think, or at least the media and society glorifies these companies that haven't even turned a profit yet.
Yeah, I remember the dot-com bubble
Yeah,
back then. Man,
exactly.
I remember I grew up in that area. I was going to college at that time. Everybody wants to be a programmer or some open some next .com. Whatever. I was just old school, man. Basic business. That's all I was doing. 101. And I'm still here. I'm still thriving. I don't know how those guys are doing, but I'm still here. I'm thriving, man. You know. Through even pandemic, we still managed to make it through, man.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So of course you already have the Cypress location had just started not too long ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, what happened was I bought the property. We signed the property to open up before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
And it hit, and I was like, well, you know what we do? Just sit here and not do anything.
Yeah.
We had the wheels already in motion. Just keep on going with it. And I really think that being that in the business that's that long, I think we have a name for ourselves. You can do well.
How far were you into development of that location before the pandemic hit?
Man, we had it signed in November.
Okay.
And we had a renovation, everything going on. I figured by the time, January will be done.
Yeah.
January, February, when that thing hits. It slowed everything down. Health departments slow down.
Yeah.
Inspectors and fire marshals slow down.
Yeah.
Because they had, their staff force got cut in half because of
right,
stuff going
of course.
on. And the inundated would work because now they're worried about going out there popping bars or illegally open, yada yada. They're like, well, there was a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But man, you just kind of have to stick to it and keep on doing it and keep on doing it. And they got it done. Eventually, it's gonna get done. They got the permit and everything. We open up like I want to say like May, June, somewhere, July, somewhere around
June.
there.
So we're just
like middle summer,
coming out of the tail end of
going to tail end. But we managed to do well, man. That stores right now is doing strong right now. Sales are strong. I think it's paying for itself, which is great. A lot of business when you open, you need at least 2 years to start being, but it's paying for itself right now, so which is great.
What do you think is the difference at your Cypress location or at your restaurants in general that you think you were able to ramp up that quickly?
I think because I've been doing this for a while. My name's already out there.
Okay.
And then I believe there's a lot of my customer base that used to live Highway 6. They moved down to Katy and Cypress area. So, man, when we opened up, about like 89% of our business were actually people that I knew already.
Oh, wow.
They're like, what are you doing out here? Well, I live down here. I didn't know you were. Yeah, well, I used to have to drive all the way on Highway 6. But now you saved me a trip, so I didn't know that you lived down here. I didn't know that.
That's
so it was
crazy.
that cool. I remember, so many people used to come up to me and from far and told me, man, I used to have to drive to Highway 6.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, that's why I thought you just live around the area. No, we had to drive up there. We
Yeah.
moved up here, and we still make that drive. So now it's easier. But now that we not only getting those customers, we're getting new customers coming in, returning customers. So it's building up steam, man.
Yeah. That's great. So you had people. So how did you get your name all the way out to Cypress back in the day?
Look, man, I've been doing business 18 years on Highway 6. So a lot of these folks are gonna move financially to get a better job.
Right, they go somewhere else.
Get a better house somewhere else in Humble, get a better house somewhere in Katy, better house in Cypress, bigger, whatever, better location. So they're gonna move away. Once in a while, they still make it Highway 6, but now that I've opened down there where they're near the house it just makes it more convenient for them. So what happens was I've been doing this for a while. My name's already out there. A lot of them I have my existing customers all over Houston. They just kind of branched out, moved out for the last 18 years.
Of course. And that I think with restaurants in general, return customers, retention is obviously one of the biggest thing.
Yeah.
What do you think your X factor was at Mike's Seafood that aside from them already knowing from the past?
And it's just like I said, we've been doing the same thing over and over. The cornmeal this evening is the same what we had like years ago.
Yeah.
We tweaked the process to make it better as we were going. It was the same thing over and over. We don't stray away from what we're good at, We don't try to do anything new.
Yeah.
Stick what we're good at.
Yeah,
That's always been like that. Have a solid menu all around: fried food, grilled food, boiled food. And on top of that, I think the key to that was my customer base, relationship building, and a lot of my customers, I've known them for like years, decades, man.
Yeah.
So we had a strong bond,
Gotcha.
Not only I know the parents, I know the kids.
Yeah, right.
Now I got the kids and get grandkids coming out, going up eating my food.
Yeah,
so that's my thing with that.
Right, gotcha.
Relationship building with my customers.
I got you. which I think is something. A lot of the newer concepts are missing now is relationship building, because you got not to call any restaurants out, but especially in the 610 area, it's about the concept. You know,
Yeah, that's why. Hey, why don't you open in Midtown? I was like, nah, man, that's not my crowd, man.
yeah, because they
My
want
crowd's
new.
my family out here, and that's the thing. I don't want to throw names out. There's places out, man. They open up, dude. They're a hit.
Yeah,
But then after a while, they get passed on. Somebody else is. This is basically it's a
Yeah.
fad almost. It's a fad. It's just a
yeah,
hype.
yeah.
you know?
No, exactly.
But there's really no solid, foundation there. People move. They're 30 something. They're gonna move away later on.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
Whereas where I'm at, these are folks who are with families. They've been with me for 10, 15, 20, 15 years. You
Yeah.
know, their kids hooked up on my food. Their grandkids be hooked up on my food. So basically, I'm getting generations after generations.
Yeah.
So
I think one fad type, or a restaurant that would look like a fad type restaurant is in Dallas. It's a mainstay and people already know it, but what was always intriguing to me, Nick and Sam's. I don't know if you ever heard of them over in Dallas.
No.
They kind of have that very cool place to go, the place to go to feel, but at the same time, they cater very well to the customer. Now they get super busy; they can't always do that. But I found that there, and but that's very rare.
Rare, man.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes a lot. I've watched some of these folks, and they're like, dude, they really, they don't have that connection with the customers. That we do.
Yeah.
So I think that's what helped me thrive through the whole pandemic. Was a lot of these folks came out and supported me. Whole community came out and supported me. A lot of people are on lockdown for 7 days a week. You cook your own meals. After a while, you get tired of cooking your own meals.
I know.
And my business has always been on a lot of to-go food. So we, and our prices are good and big portions and everything.
Yeah.
So they used to come through and order a lot throughout the pandemic, bring home, and that's what we did well the entire pandemic.
What do you think was the biggest seller to go?
Man, just fried food.
Just
You
the
can order,
fried food?
Yeah, 6 fish with the family side fried, 6 fish to side rice, and we have like house special rice. You can, like a large order, you can feed like 3 people, man.
Yeah.
So the portions are huge, and it's good food. I don't skim on items, like fish. I make sure the strips are big strips, not little bitty.
Yeah.
You get your money's worth.
How come you think some restaurants skimp on portions?
Man, I think what is food costs go up, and they try to cut back or something. If I have to, I'll raise the price, but I'm not gonna cut the portion. That's the thing, customers, sometimes they understand that, hey man, this costs more. Like snow crabs. Snow crabs consistently go up the last 2-3 years, been going skyrocket.
That's crazy.
And we move up, but I don't change the size. I don't change from this big size to small size to cut. No, don't do that, man. You can justify a little bit, bump a little price, but you got to keep the value there and the portions there.
Yeah.
You have to, because customers, you're gonna lose them if you start getting greedy.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I think that's always been like that. Is this we make sure that the portions are good, the quality's there, consistent. That's it. We don't cut on those.
Yeah. Quality and consistency.
You can't cut corners on those.
Yeah.
Can't.
Plus relationship. So
that's the thing, like people will start getting bigger and start branching out. They start cutting back, find ways to profit more. How am I going to profit more? Man, I'm going to cut this a little smaller.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them a little small, less portion.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that, man. What made you successful in the first place was that. They love that because of quality and then the quantity and we're giving them anything. So you cut that out, then you're gonna start losing customers.
Yeah.
So,
are you gonna do anything different at the Cypress location?
I think the clientele's out there. I think they're more well-to-do out there. I want to say.
Yeah.
They have more disposable income, so we might run certain things out there a little different. But it's same thing. Still fried fish, still grilled fish.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Maybe we run a little special happy hours out there differently or something.
Yeah,
we have the patio going on.
That's
so
right.
We're gonna run something out there. We'll probably do maybe live music or live DJs one day out of the week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have more power to do that out there because we own the property down there. So.
What this is kind of because I always just out of curiosity, what does it take to make a patio dog friendly, and would you ever consider it?
Man, I think so. I've been to places down, let's say near Washington or Midtown.
Yeah.
Where it's right next to dog park. I like it. I love the vibe, man. I got a big Presa Canario.
Oh, awesome.
I love a dog too. You can still make it, but out there, I don't know, man. Majority of my customers don't come in with dogs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Their house is down the street. when they come in to eat, their
Right,
house at
right.
home, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas like Midtown or Washington, a lot of them, they live in townhouses, you know.
Yeah,
When
that's
they
true.
take off, they
They
can take
wanna
a dog
take 'em
with them.
out.
They really don't have no backyard, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
they bring the little dogs out there. I was watching all these little dogs, Frenchies out there. It was cool, man. One of a guy that I know, he has a restaurant there, and like his restaurant right next to, literally next to the dog park. Everybody just come there. It's a good vibe and everything.
I
But
gotcha.
most of the customers, like clientele's like 20 something, 30 something, you know.
Yeah. You got families up in Cyprus.
Yeah, it's different clientele. So, you know, I
Yeah.
don't think it'll work. I mean, I can probably make it work, but I don't think that there's no need for that, you
Yeah.
know. But what they want probably out there is more party, laid back atmosphere. Weekends,
Right.
bring out the whole family, or, you know,
Yeah,
have
yeah,
some
yeah.
music out there, enjoy some crawfish and some daiquiris. We do a lot of daiquiris out there too.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what I'm shooting for.
Daiquiris. Yeah, daiquiris is always a good seller,
you know,
man.
spicy crawfish and frozen daiquiris.
I know.
And hurricanes go together, bro.
There you go. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
So you should also have a deal with they spend enough, they get a free Uber home.
Oh man, you know what? We cut off like limits. You know, so
Yeah,
here's the
yeah,
deal.
yeah.
We don't do heavy liquor. We've always strive on, like, you know, not going heavy liquor
Over-serving.
route. Everybody's like, why don't you get mixed liquor, heavy liquor, and make it strong? I said, no, I'm good. I don't want fights here. I don't
Right.
want stuff, you know, rowdiness down there. It's a family atmosphere. You know, you want a place where you feel comfortable bringing the kids. We have some two dudes drunk
Yeah.
beating each other up out there. You know, we haven't had that trouble yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're gonna keep it that way. So our liquor aren't really strong. They're light, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And we will cut off. I'll tell my staff, hey man, cut them off. They start, you know, when you
Yeah.
start seeing that they're not, you know, walking straight or speech is kind of, you know, don't serve, stop serving. Even when they come in, they feel like they're drunk already. Which
Yeah.
sometimes we've seen it. We won't serve them.
Really?
It's not worth it, man. You
It's
making a few
responsible.
dollars. You making a few dollars, but look at the penalty. What happens? They go home and get WI or get in an accident
Right.
and runs and kill somebody, man. And now we're responsible. Over a few dollars, it's not worth it, man.
Because you can get pinged for over serving, right? Is that what it's
Yes. So you come in and they drink and they go home and hit somebody or kill somebody. I am responsible for it. They
Yeah.
can turn back and sue me.
called? Yeah.
Even
yeah.
if they came in already drunk already, I'm not supposed to serve them anymore.
Right.
That's
right.
the thing, because I'm responsible for that, you
Exactly.
know.
Exactly.
So yeah, for last, you know what, we've opened our restaurants about 13, 14 years now.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had any issues with TABC. We're gonna keep that way. We don't serve minors. We card everybody. If you look at 30 something, I'm gonna ask anyway. It doesn't matter. You got to be here. Hey,
Yeah.
can I see your ID?
Yeah.
You know, usually we ask in a polite way. And we never have issues with that. You know,
Yeah.
so we wouldn't keep it that way.
Hey, I bet you get a lot of people happy with that.
It's family atmosphere, man. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
serving a bunch of college kids or trying to, you know, no,
Yeah.
man, that's not my clientele.
Well, I mean, if you ask someone in their 30s for their ID, that you probably
Oh
made
yeah,
their
of course.
night.
Make some ladies feel great. Oh my God, no, really? Oh yeah, you know, of course.
Yeah,
We had like that. Which is fun, man. We just a lot of you
Yeah.
know, we had fun with our customers. Trust
Yeah,
me.
that is, dude.
So-
It sounds like a really family oriented
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
And I've been hearing some very core values here. Is that you are not cutting any corners for profit.
No, you can't.
Every
man.
bit of it.
I'm doing fine, man. I'm
Yeah.
doing great.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, if it doesn't broke, don't fix it, man. That's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
thing. A lot of people try to go back and try to figure out how to profit more, how to do more. I'm doing good, man.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it, and
Yeah.
customers are happy. I'm gonna keep it that way. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And if
So-
you want to do more, you could just keep opening the same
Yeah.
structure,
Same
right?
structure. Well, the second one, like I said, is a solid. Like I said, I try not to expand too fast and try to open 4 or 5 stores. I've seen people open like 3 stores within like 2 years. Like, man, that's too fast. And sure enough, they fail. They don't have the management structure. The cooks
Yeah.
aren't trained properly. When I opened the FM 529, I took one of the main cooks who I had with me, which is about 13, 14. He's been with me about 13 years.
Yeah.
I brought him on the other side, and the other cook about 12 years. I kept him Highway 6.
Okay.
And I gave him about at least 3 other cooks that was from the other one. I was with them. So
Mm.
from there, we start hiring new hires to help them out. But the main guys, the fry guy, the boil guy, whatever, the same guys that is on Highway 6.
Gotcha.
So they know
gotcha.
what they're doing. I'm not putting a bunch of newbies out there.
So
and
you're
that's the thing.
taking you're taking your main staff, kind of splitting it up a little bit.
That's it.
and
I've been
then filling
preparing.
each
I've been
side.
preparing this. I've been trained for
Oh, wow.
this. It wasn't like, you know what, we're gonna open a new one. I'm hiring new people. No, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I know who I'm gonna bring over there, who's solid, who I can depend on. Well, I'll have to be there, and I know he's gonna run it right because he's
Yeah.
been with me 13 years. He knows what I expect. You know.
You kind of do it like a franchise way almost, where
Yeah,
it's like
sort of
you're-
like that. You know,
yeah.
it's like kind of same way. But I say I'll make sure that people are trained
Mm-hmm.
properly before I open a second one. You know.
You ever have thoughts of that maybe you'll franchise Mike Seafood?
I thought about that. Like, you know, man, that's the thing. If I was going to do it, I'm gonna do it with people within that my organization.
Mm-hmm.
I have no interest in people outside coming in, putting money in, because I think I'm doing fine. I don't need outside money.
Yeah.
But I want people that knows what I'm doing, that been
Right.
with me from the get go, and I reward them in a kind of way. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
Give them a franchise. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's probably the best way, because they're familiar with my structure and how we run things. You know.
Oh yeah. And you said the people that you have already there is what you use to kind of open it up. I know you said the cooks.
The managers too.
yeah,
One of the
I
guys
was-
that's running out
that's what I was gonna
FM
ask.
529.
Yeah.
He's on and off. He was on and off in my Highway 6 store for a while, and finally he kind of quit his other job, and he said, "Man, I want to do this." Yeah, yeah. So we've been talking, and I like the way he's his mind works. He's just like me. He's motivated. He wants to do things. He wants to own his own business.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm probably gonna give him an opportunity. Same deal.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if he has the drive, why not? You know?
Yeah.
And after he takes over that restaurant, I'll open another one somewhere else. You know.
So what do you feel like makes that guy? You can dab him up if you want.
Yeah.
What do you think makes that manager of yours good?
Potential. He's driven.
Yeah, yeah,
Always brings ideas.
yeah.
And he doesn't clock in and clock out 9 to 5, whatever it is, and I'm done. Bye, chunks of dudes. No.
Yeah.
He comes with ideas, does stuff outside of work that needs to be done.
Okay.
Sounds like he wants to run that
So
business.
he cares.
He cares.
He cares.
Yes, and it's hard to find people like that. A lot
Yeah.
of people come into work and they're done, clock out and go home, yada yada. Whatever. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you only get advanced to a certain stage. To
Yeah.
a certain level.
What do you think? What do you think you do as an owner to kind of instill that motivation into your
If he has a
employees?
fire with him in him, then I'm gonna promote it. I'm
Okay,
gonna
you
give
just
him an
kinda-
incentive. What I do is I give him 3 months goal. You meet this, I'm gonna get this for you. You meet
Got
this
you.
goal, I'm gonna get this for you. I'm offer this. After that, give you franchise. It basically worked toward the end of that.
Got you.
So I give them short term goals. They have
So
to
you-
meet it.
So you bring in whoever you bring in as a manager. They already know. Hey, if I work this hard, Mike's gonna
Yeah.
give me-
Yeah.
Got you.
So the guy that I'm talking, I'm kind of giving him an
Okay.
offer.
To give them like a future to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I told him within 3 months, I'm gonna do this for you. After 3 months, you make it through the coffee season, I'm gonna offer you this contract right here.
Oh wow.
Then after you finish the contract, and then we'll
Yeah, I think that's way. I mean, I haven't heard that too much myself.
Yeah.
I don't think a whole lot of restaurant owners set goals for their managers like that.
Yeah, you have to. You got to give them to shoot for. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I've noticed, like, say if the goal is too long, they get lackadaisical. They don't care no more.
Yeah, yeah.
But give them
Short term.
little short term
Yeah, you can
goals.
see
You
it.
meet this, we get you this, get this, and that. And it's been working so far. So we'll see. I can't say that it's 100%, but it seems like it's working so far.
Yeah. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I think that's regardless of what you're doing. I really firmly believe that you want to set long-term and short-term
Yeah.
goals.
Yeah. Well, in the
Because-
long term, I know what he wants. We're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
get him there.
yeah, yeah.
But to get there, you have to meet this cut. You
Right.
meet this cut, this quota. Hey, I need this meet this quota after coffee season. This store has to be this profitable, this X whatever.
Yeah.
You need to get me there, and I need you to get the staff force under. You need some
Yeah.
assistant managers to help me out. And that's he's doing it.
Yeah, yeah.
In the long term, I know he wants to franchise it, of course.
Of course.
But
of course.
to get there, let's make sure this is met first. How about that?
Got you.
Once you do that, then I'll offer you a contract,
Yeah. Hey,
franchise.
that's
You know.
that's pretty awesome of you. And if that does happen, or when that happens, we'll
Yeah.
be very positive about it.
Yeah.
Where do you feel like that next location would be?
I got 2 possibilities. I can't divulge until I get it done.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
between me and my realtor,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I don't know exactly firmly what I'm gonna do. My next move is gonna be.
Got you.
But it like I said, at this point, I think I'm not renting anymore. I'm buying.
Right.
I'm just sick of just renting off. I'm not doing it anymore.
Yeah, I saw that in your post about
Yeah,
how.
man. God, man, I put so much money in this guy's pocket, and there's no appreciation whatsoever. I'm increasing value of his property. I'm bringing
Yeah.
foot traffic, yada
Yeah.
yada.
Yeah.
So to ask for some minor things like fix a roof. God, he can't do it correctly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is what it is. It's part of the
Yeah.
game,
Of course. Of
It's
course.
fine. So I know what I need to do next.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. So you're learning from every step of the way that you see and making it
Yeah,
better.
like I
for you.
said, I'm doing. It's still seafood related,
Yeah.
but I'm doing more. Yeah,
Yeah. Exactly.
stuff like tied to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
We'll
Well, I
see in a
mean,
few years.
yeah.
Yeah.
We shall see. We
Talk
shall
to me.
see.
Talk to me in a few years how things going. So,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad to see you're doing well, and I can't wait to see that next step.
Thanks, man.
Well, man, I think I'm gonna naturally put a pin in it here. I think we got a pretty
Thank you.
good
Thank you very
story.
much. I
Yeah,
appreciate your time and
Yeah,
give me
of course.
opportunity, man.
of
Thank you.
course. It's an awesome story. You coming from essentially being in the corporate world, not liking it,
Yeah.
finding a profitable situation in Port Arthur to Houston,
Yeah.
and the next thing you know, it's Mike's Seafood, man.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to see what you got cooking up, you got what is it, 9399 Highway 6?
9449 Highway 6.
Okay, sorry.
That's the original location.
Yeah,
And the new one's 20320 FM 529 in Cypress.
got you.
That
got
one's
you.
it's nice. It's wanky little. You know, we put a
Yeah.
lot of investment in that one.
Yeah,
But
I
either
saw
one,
that.
either one, man.
Yeah.
You know.
and they could find you. Is it MikeSeafood.com or?
You can order online mikesrestaurants.com.
Oh, sorry, my
Or
bad.
look on social media. You know, Mike's Seafood 529 is Instagram for the Mike Seafood too.
Yep.
You know, or just look for a name, Mike's Trinh
Yeah,
967
yeah,
yada
yeah,
yada.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
Look on Facebook.
Exactly.
Yeah, I always post my business stuff on there too. So
Yeah. No,
Um,
and I'm definitely gonna have to come in myself.
you got to come through, man.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta- Right now we got crawfish season. Matter of fact, my crawfish guy just messaged me. He's bringing in some more crawfish.
I always forget Cypress and like Magnolia isn't a super far shot, is it?
No, it's like okay. So basically, on 529 Fry Road, it's north
Yeah.
of Katy, between Katy and Cypress. They call
Yeah.
it Cypress. To be honest, it's like north of Katy.
Okay.
My house is still there. One of my original houses out there. That's why I knew about the
Okay.
location.
And when I stop in, what do I have to order?
Man, house special rice. You gotta have that.
Okay, how
That's one
special
of it.
rice?
Boiled seafood. You can't go wrong boiled shrimp or boiled crawfish. Depends
Okay.
on what you want. And
Gotcha.
you
Shrimp
know,
will be my choice.
chicken sandwich, man, believe it or not, was one of my sleepers, man.
Really?
Remember when they had like the chicken war?
Yeah,
with,
yeah.
Popeyes
Right.
and then out there, you know what I'm saying? I
You
was telling
threw
everybody,
your
man,
hat
you
in?
come to my store, get a chicken sandwich. You don't worry about no getting stabbed, getting shot over a chicken sandwich. And plus, we got flavor. We ain't like, you know, Chick-fil-A, you know, bland shit, man. So we got double patty, seasoned the F out of them, coleslaw, shit, man, it works.
Yeah.
You know, you got to work in long line. You got to get beat up for a chicken sandwich either. Wasn't
Got
worth
you.
it, man.
Got you. So you
Yeah.
heard it here.
Yeah.
Mike says Chick-fil-A's chicken sandwich is bland.
And you don't worry about getting stabbed, getting body slammed over my seafood over a chicken sandwich. Oh my God, people are beating each other for a chicken sandwich.
I saw
bro.
that. Hey.
It's a freaking apocalypse, man. For real.
Yeah. What's
So we
going
rode
on?
on that, and man, it just got. It was, you know what I'm saying? It's good to drive with a hype, but you have to have substance. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, we have substance. Everybody came through that ate the chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, that shit
Love
better
it.
than fucking chicken.
So I gotta get the chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
I gotta do the rice.
House special rice.
House
Make
special
sure I'm
rice.
there, man. I'm gonna
All right.
guide you through.
Okay,
You know what I mean? I'll
okay.
introduce a few things. You
You'll
know?
be my seafood mentor.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm gonna walk you through the menu. You got my messenger.
Yeah.
You DM me when you're going through, man. You
Yes,
know?
sir. Yes, sir.
I'll roll out the red carpet. I'll treat you like king, man.
All right. Hey, that
know?
sounds good to me. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for listening in, guys. Once again, I'm Roger D with Texas Tea. You can find Texas Tea, of course, on Facebook, Instagram now, eventually TikTok. I keep saying that, but we'll get there. And then,
I tried it and I gave up, man.
No
I had my
TikTok.
daughter help me out, man. A little baby girl, like, Dad, this is how you do this. And she was clowning me. She said, Dad, you only got no followers. I got like 30 followers. Like,
I think you got to try it out. Have you cooking in the back? You know?
I tried. Sometimes I was talking about like cooking. I do have stuff where I'm cooking house special rice and stuff, but man, that thing is big, man. Guys doing common shit like kimchi fried rice, and
Yeah.
you get like millions of like freaking,
You know
followers,
what?
whatever. It's like,
When I come through,
Yeah.
we're gonna do a TikTok while you're doing the rice.
do that, man.
Sound good?
Yeah,
All right.
let's do that.
That's
man.
what's up.
Make
That's what's up.
Insta famous, man. There you
Insta
go.
famous. Insta famous. TikTok
Instagram,
famous.
TikTok famous. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you have any questions for Mike, leave them in the comments below. He will love to answer them, and of course, come through to one of his restaurants, and
Please
they'll love
do.
to have
Come
you.
say hi, man. I'll be glad to be out there, shake your hands, and
Yeah.
treat you like king, man. So,
That's what I love to hear. Well, Mike, appreciate it, man. Thanks for
you.
coming on, brother.
thank you very much, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate your time,
of course,
bro.
of course.